Hey guys, welcome to Vibes TCG. I'm the professor, and in this video, I'm very lucky to have here with me Loffee. Welcome, Loffee.
Welcome.
How are you doing today?
Good, good.
Good, cool. Yeah, so I'm very happy to have you here as a guest on a video. I think you are definitely one of the best and top Vibes TCG content creators, so it's an honor for me to have you here. So let's start off with some questions, Loffee. I guess starting off, have you been doing content creation before? What got you into it?
No, no, I this is my first time doing anything like that. But so the reason I did it was because I used to play a lot of Hearthstone, and while I was playing Hearthstone, there were like I learned so much from watching a specific set of content creators that were making like very, like analytical focused content and talking through all their plays. And when I started playing Vibes, there just wasn't any content like that at all. And so then I was just like, well, I really want this, but since no one's doing it, I figured I might as well try to do it just to because I really thought it was like a gap that we didn't have in the community.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think, you along with, myself and the other TST guys, and there's a couple more that were very early content creators and still participating in making content for this great game that we've found. I enjoy watching your videos. I think from the beginning, I could see your evolution as your content creation and your style. I see it evolving to now, and but throughout your all your content, what I've appreciated about your videos, it's always very informative, detailed, and structured. So definitely, I'd like to call out how good you are at doing that.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely took some iterations to get like the formulas down for the different video types. I think, yeah, I definitely am trying to do it very structured. I think, yeah, there's a lot of improvement still to go, of course, but
Right.
yeah, I'm pretty happy for some of the like at least like the video types that there are.
Yeah, and it's definitely a journey. As we all evolve in this community, part of it is evolving as a content creator. One thing I do want to point out too is I think you being such a busy content creator making lots of content out there. I think you're probably want to thank you again because I think you probably onboarded or help onboard at least several players into the community because your videos just is a great doorway for them to get into it. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, again, that's like I really appreciate it whenever I'm able to help people.
Yeah, great, great. And then I guess what's your background in TCGs?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I played Magic. So I played like, it was like with my friends, like when we were like camping and stuff like that, we would just play like, just it was like, really rough decks and just, this was like when I was like in, my teenage years.
Right.
So that was like the first TCG I played. I mean, that was very casual, just like with friends. I did one pre-release tournament. So there was like a pre-release of a set, and three of us went, and we went and we got absolutely demolished. Um, then after that, I played this game called Dominion, which is not really a TCG from the standpoint is there's no trading element of it, but it's like a kind of like a deck builder game.
Okay.
It plays a lot, kind of like a sealed set where you just continuously play that. I played that a lot. Was the next one I played, and then after that, and so there I was like before they had like their official like online client, there was this like janky online client that I was pretty competitive in. But then when the official client got released, you had to like buy a bunch of content, and then I kind of stopped playing that. And then I played Hearthstone. I played Hearthstone for I don't know 5, 6, 7 years, and um yeah, I played that pretty competitively as well. I never qualified for any like the Masters tours, but I was pretty close at certain points.
But I guess so. After you played Hearthstone, then I guess talk us through how you transitioned and found vibes.
Well, so I stopped playing Hearthstone maybe 4 years ago or something like that when I basically when I left school and got a job, it just got like really, Hearthstone kind of fell to the side, and also the game kind of had reached its like I think it kind of like peaked and was kind of on its like slow decline. So then I just didn't play TCG for a long time. One of the things I always didn't like about Hearthstone was, or not that I didn't like, but I always like had a lot of regret of not being there from the beginning because I joined basically when the second set came out, and so then I was just always like casually looking for another game. But one thing I always wanted to do was to be in a game like from the very beginning, and so that's why like when I heard about Vibes, then I was like, okay, this is finally my time to come out of retirement.
Yeah. No, that's a great story because I know, from the way you produce your content and even play the game, Vibes, I could tell that you're, pretty a fairly seasoned uh, card game player, and this is good to hear how much experience you have on there. So, have you always been into Web3? Like, why did you choose Vibes?
Yeah, so actually, okay, so the reason I chose Vibes was there's this one, yeah, so I've been like casually involved in like just following the NFT market since, you know, 2000, I don't know if it was 2000, 2020 or 2021, sometime around that time. There's then the NFT morning show, the Nifty portal, but now the Bodago's project. That's where like Spencer used to be a guest on that show all the time, and I really appreciated like all his like he was very analytical, and so it was like this morning podcast, and he would like very frequently be a guest on it and talk about stuff, and he really like he talked several times. He went really deep into trading card games and his philosophy around them, and what other Web3 trading card games were doing incorrectly. And then all of a sudden one day he just kind of like disappeared.
Hmm.
And I was kind of wondering what happened to him. And then like 9 months later, he popped back up into the world with basically saying like that Vibes was coming out. So he had kind of just gone away to kind of build this. And so then, because I really, but not that I knew him, but I listened to a lot of kind of his thought process about both how the NFT Web3 ecosystem works, and also about trading card games, and talking about what the problems were with a lot of other trading card games. And so because of that, I felt like if there's going to be a Web3 TCG that works, that Vibes had a really good shot, just because I really did agree with a lot of kind of like Spencer's philosophy around everything, that at least that what I gleaned from all the appearances he had made.
Okay. And so far, so sounds like you discovered Vibes and have played it since the beginning, which I would think was back in December. And you've been very involved with, you were the season zero champion. Congratulations to that. So far that you've been in Vibes, how does it compare to all your past experiences and from your expectations of what a card game should be?
Yeah, so I think so the game itself is very good. Like I am shocked at how balanced it is from the standpoint of like we've now had a pretty dynamic meta for since the game launched,
Hmm.
and it really like I think now we might be getting close to where it's all for the first set. Like, it's kind of settling down, but like it took quite a while to get there. And I think it's also like pretty much every color is playable. I mean, you could argue maybe red is a little weak, and blue is maybe a little weak, but it's like, and Bizbunk is definitely super strong, maybe overpowered, I would argue, but I think it's like overall, so the game itself is very balanced, and it's also very interesting. Like I still haven't been bored yet. I think I'm slowly at the point where now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for new cards, but it
Right.
really took me probably until very recently to get there. So I think the variety within even just the first set has been very good.
Okay. And speaking of variety in the first set, as I mentioned earlier, you're one of the top content creators in this space. You produce regular deck guide videos, deck gameplay videos, a meta list. So you we got on earlier and you kind of walked me through this deck that we're going to be playing as we talked. So walk me through this yellow yum yum. I know we were trying to go for a fun spin on this. So talk us through the mega yum yum deck you put together here.
I thought also another reason I thought this would be a good list to do was one of my earliest interaction with all the TST people was um, everyone was hounding me that Yellow Mega Penguin is a good card in Yum Yum,
Yeah.
and I was saying no, this card is not good. This card is trash. But I remember like Bosch and Fun, Rock Metal, I forget who else, you were probably part of this. They're all telling me it's good. I think I've been proven right, just because it is not a card that's played in this list. That being said, I thought it would be fun just to, now that we know a little more about how to build Yum Yum, to build a deck around it.
Hmm.
So I do think that the Yellow Mega Penguin is in the right direction of Yum Yum, because there's two ways to build Yum Yum. Where one is you're using Prepare for a Wild Night, and you have a very action heavy build of Yum Yum, and one is a more penguin heavy build. And the penguin heavy build, I think, is definitely shown to be the stronger build. But even within that, I think Yellow Mega Penguin is definitely a big question mark. But it does have some really, really fun, powerful eye rolls.
Right.
Because what you can do, right, is like you can yellow mega penguin your own lucky penguin,
Right.
and then you can get potentially two more, and then your extrovert gets really big. And so it's like definitely a much more like, win big type deck. So basically the way you build it is you try to run the like bare minimum of the number of actions that you can. So in this case, right, we're only running three yum yums. We're only running three not your keys. We do run four of the yellow, check the yellow pages just because the card draw is like so good on it. And that also actually likes to have more penguins. And then we're running the flippers instead of the buddy up as the finisher, just because of the green mega penguin caffeine build that, and Snow Globe. So because of both of those cards, which are very popular right now, I think Put Your Flippers is a better finisher than Buddy Up.
Right. Yeah, definitely like to get this on screen and play a couple games with you. Definitely an interesting build, so it'll be fun. One thing I will say is the other guy that's running the yellow mega with the Yum Yum was Airy, so Airy might have a couple choice words with you there.
Oh no, but the thing about Airy and his yellow Yum Yum is like in the times when he was playing that deck, because I remember like he was playing the yellow Yum Yum in his rank, he dropped down quite far down in Dummy Thick, then he switched back to green and he was immediately back in the top eight.
Yeah,
And so like it's I think it's very fun. And I know Airy is like the ultimate, have fun Timmy type player,
yeah,
and so I get why he loves the deck. But I think if you even watch how the deck did to his ranking, I would say that it's more about being a fun deck than being a good deck.
so it bolstered your case even more.
Yeah, and I think I mean, we have the example of at Hartford, the Guy running the Yum Yum list to second place. Right, we could see there like his build did not run Yellow Mega Penguin
Right.
either. So I feel pretty good that it's not the right card if you're purely trying to win. Um, but I've only played a few games with this type of build, so we're gonna see how fun it is because that's also important.
So I guess let's. I mean, so do you see yellow? Do you see with the current cards and the meta? Do you see a place for yellow Mega Penguin, or do you feel like it's yet to be, to find its place in the deck?
I think it's one of those cards that can be really strong if it has the right support around it. Like anytime you have an effect like that, it is absolutely nuts. Like there's going to be a time when Yellow Mega Penguin is broken, I think.
Hmm.
Um because it basically lets you put a card into play for free regardless of what that card is. So imagine like a dummy thick disco ball type card that costs, or a card that costs like 20 fish, right? So then eventually there'll be a card that's so good if you got it on the board that's like you auto win the game. And then you just also need more supporting cards to kind of put that card on the top of your deck. Because right now we have like Cookies of Truth,
Yeah,
which can kind of help a bit. So you can see what's at the top of your deck, right? But we don't really have that many good cards for like controlling the card on the top of your deck. So I think in the future at some point we're gonna have a card that's like auto win when it comes on the board, and then we're gonna combine that with good ways to put that card on the top of your deck, and then Yellow Mega Penguin will shine.
got it, got it. All right, so looks like we were able to queue into a game here. So walk us through the mulligan. What would you like to keep, and what would you like to throw?
Okay, so I definitely want to keep check the yellow pages and one penguin who doesn't mind goodbyes and the yum yum, especially because we're only playing three. So I think let's just keep it like that. Yeah. And I think the reason we want to keep the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes is, right, we're thinking about popcorn penguin, and we really want to be able to survive the popcorn penguin. Okay, so yeah, I guess I really don't want to rod to check the yellow pages, but I don't really see. I guess we can
Your
rod
favorite?
the mega penguin, but that would be so sad.
Yeah.
No, we
Well,
have to keep it. Let's
keep it.
let's
All
do
right.
the yellow pages.
Okay. Okay.
Let's do check the yellow pages. Yeah.
And then for this type of deck early on, or even maybe throughout, like, are you looking to lose the vibe checks and keep drawing, or are you looking
Yeah.
to? Okay.
Well, we are looking to like we do want to get to six fish as quick as possible for popcorn, because right when popcorn comes out, we really don't have a good answer besides the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes to kind of neutralize it to draw cards. So, or as Mudman would say, go to Hydra mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should have put a Bizbunk. Okay, so this is all right. So what? Um, I mean, I guess we have to just play the curve, right?
Yeah.
So what? What do you think?
I mean, I probably, if we're trying to
Yeah,
maintain this, I'd probably have to, hopefully we draw more for the memes later, the yellow penguin, but I'd probably, this would be my
but
choice.
but we're not gonna play the check the yellow pages anyway, right? When are
Oh,
we gonna
yeah,
have three pudge?
that's true with such high
Yeah,
cards.
so I think let's just put the check the yellow pages down.
Okay, makes
But
sense.
okay, if this is if this is Bismo, we didn't put any misplace in this deck. So, okay, so the only way we're gonna beat Bismo, a Bisbunk, is if we're just faster than it, right?
Yeah,
So maybe, yeah, maybe that check the yellow pages. There's so many two drops in this deck. I just don't like, we have drawn not like none of the low end.
yeah, we pretty much drew
So,
all the, oh, they're milling
oh, it's
us.
blue.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's blue, okay, okay, now I'm just not. This is like an old school Blurple deck. Okay, so I guess what Lucky Penguin. I think we just use the pot stirring as the rod at this point.
Yeah, because we don't really, we kind of got rid of yellow pages, so I could see rotting the pot stirring into
Yeah.
Lucky Penguin. That makes sense.
I mean, we're setting up for the Wombo combo, right? We're
Yeah,
gonna go. Um, although the only thing is that would make the Wombo combo better is if the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes is on the board. I guess we don't. Okay.
oh, I guess they want
All
us to
right.
win. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but winning the vibe check is good for us because if we're playing against a blue, right, that's trying to make us, we want to win the vibe check because, right, just getting as many rods down is good. Well, I guess like that's the assumption that blue would be playing like Orb of Hopium or Penguin with Hoops.
Right.
But I guess I also just would say that I don't know if we can make any assumptions about this deck based on the fact we've seen three different colors come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to just go? I feel like we just play the extrovert because and Rod, a penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes. Because yeah, because like the whole point of the Mega Penguin is right. It's gonna get a bunch of triggers on the extrovert as well as it doesn't mind goodbyes. So I think like let's set up for like a proper Mega Penguin. So we can play like the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes next turn, and then we do the Mega Penguin the turn after.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense to rod one goodbyes here because if we are playing a mill deck, we don't want to overdraw too much with two goodbye penguins on board,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's always dangerous. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, especially now. Like then,
Yeah, they're
I
milling
do
us.
wonder if we should be rotting the Yum Yum. It's like,
Mm,
are we ever gonna clear this board? I think they're gonna clear the board, not us, right?
yeah, depending on
Like, what card would blue? Ugh, that's so sad.
yeah,
They're messing up our whole. I mean, at least we have the penguin who might bring a +1. So we'll get
compensation.
but no, but I mean it's gonna help the like it's so we're gonna get a body to use anyway.
Yeah, so it actually helped us that he milled a card into there for us.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to get six here?
Yeah, so the question is, do we want to use the Yum Yum as the rod or the goodbye? But I feel like the goodbye is probably fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because if we're trying to win fuzz, I don't think if we ever do clear and get some draws with goodbyes, I don't think we'll have another chance to redo it again. So we'd probably only need one goodbye penguin.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, like this is the type of deck. This reminds me of like the early days where
Yeah.
you just have like no idea what's coming
Right on.
because like
Yeah, we got red
yeah, what
action,
could
blue
even
action. Yeah. Oh, we got three lucky penguins in our ice. Can you believe that?
yeah. But I mean, that's I guess how statistics works sometime. Okay, so yeah, so next turn we'll do the Mega Penguin because then right. So the whole idea of this thing is right. If we play the Mega Penguin now,
Oh,
we will draw a card. Bedtime story. Okay, well, yeah, yeah. So this is like a classic Blurple. Okay, this
yeah.
is this is the like good old Blurple. Okay, but I mean, playing the Mega Penguin should give us some card advantage here if
Yep.
it hits. If it doesn't, yeah, this is the problem though. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't even give us.
Mm.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's fine.
If you were this guy, would you have gone for the goodbye penguin here, or do you think this is a valid target going for the extrovert?
Yeah, I think the Goodbye Penguin is well, it depends. Yeah, I guess I would have gone for the Goodbye Penguin because like the extrovert, you don't really need to do anything about till like the final turns. So maybe
Yeah.
he'll get another removal.
Yeah.
Whereas the Goodbye Penguin's gonna kind of it's like a snowbally card.
Yeah. It just replaced itself basically.
Oh yeah, well yeah, even worse. Yeah, yeah, okay, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking just in general, but like yeah, there's no. Okay, so they're going. Okay, so I mean, okay, so we are gonna get four more cards deep in our deck. So I'm a little worried of overdrawing, but oh no, now they're icing their own deck. This is like the pure classic Blurple, which is like you run cards that work in both directions.
Yeah.
And it's just not good because you kind of split yourself too thin between both approaches.
Hmm.
Like I think it's even more true with Vibes than with other board game with other card games where like because it's all about getting to 15, it's like this very like it's like both people are sprinting towards a goal, like kind of splitting yourself between two goals can be just I don't know. I just don't think that works as well.
Yeah. It kind of gets rid of the consistency. All right. So you want to play your favorite card now, or should we
Um
go wide a little bit? What do you
yeah,
think?
let's okay, we can well because we're gonna play both, right? We'll play the +1 and the Mega Penguin.
Okay.
So okay, we'll do that first to get the action off the top of our deck. Yeah, good thing we played that one first, right?
Yep.
And what?
And
Now
then
let's go.
all right.
Yeah.
We got our fingers crossed here. Let's see if this card works. Eh?
Okay.
But that was
I mean,
that.
the dream is you're supposed to hit the second Mega Penguin.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should play a rod, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think about rodding?
Should we play a rod? I no, I think we should be careful because if they play send it too hard.
Yeah. Then we have cards in hand.
But I guess we're gonna draw four cards if they do that. But if they like, let's say they play removal this turn and send it too hard next turn. Okay, make sure to pass. Like I think if you don't pass like three turns in a row, you lose.
Yeah. Auto concede there, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so send it too hard. So we should be careful not to overcommit into that. Although like wow, yeah. So let's say they played like Adventure Squad and then send it too hard.
Should we think about
That could be.
to play around, send it too hard? Or should we start thinning out his blue pudge? Like, do you think it's worth a keys on one of these guys, or what do you think?
I think we should save the keys for like what if he has something big?
Okay.
You know, but I don't know. Right? He still also only played three rods. Because also like right, he could just play another blue pudge like a cannonball or something.
Okay. So just pass here.
Yeah. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to put him in like I guess like check or whatever, like
Yeah.
get to 14 this turn.
Right.
just to like that's another thing that I find. It's like you always want to like put him in a situation where he has to do something other than just pass and to get one more turn to kind of find the answer. Like it's not always like that, but I feel like this is a perfect situation for that.
Yeah, I think with you're right. With the mill decks, we want to kind of force their hand, right? Make them have the removal because otherwise we're about to win.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep passing here. We're down to 18 cards. All right, we're gonna pick your Mega Penguin to.
Yeah. We need to see the Mega Penguin dance.
I was hoping for the head spin.
I do like I really like the Mega Penguins from the standpoint of like, the art is all not the same, but it's a Mega Penguin,
Yeah,
even though it's, I think that the art is that's the other I think the art on this game is really good. Okay, so we need to play. I think we want to play one ping. Well, we could do like the penguin who zooms with the
with the Mega Penguin.
mega. Yeah, obviously,
All right, all
that's
right.
what we must do.
It's like the whole point of the deck, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we want to eat one of the zooming penguins.
Yes. Sure.
All right, all right. Fingers crossed. Let's
Gotta
see.
put.
Oh, there it
Oh.
is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now it's gonna. Oh, boom.
Best
Yes. Okay.
best card in the game. You just confirmed it.
Okay. We should play one more. We should maybe play another rod, just
Okay.
in case they play a 6-5 and tie that we still end the game.
What'd you like to rod? The flying,
Um. Yeah.
or
Sure.
or maybe I don't. You think we probably wouldn't draw yellow pages anymore, right? Because goodbye penguin.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. If they do Ascend It Too Hard. Well, I guess if they did like a Adventure Squad and Ascend It Too Hard together, then we would do. If they did Adventure Squad, we would not your keys the other the to fizzle the Adventure
Yeah,
Squad.
and we're running out of cards anyway, so I don't. I didn't really think
Yeah,
we'd be drawing,
yeah. I mean, if they clear the board, this might be tough.
but we did pull
Yeah,
off.
wait. Yeah, if they clear the board, if they Ascend It Too Hard here,
We're in trouble.
um, no, I think we have enough
Oh,
cards to
they
end.
conceded. Okay, they,
Okay,
so they couldn't handle the yellow mega penguin into the yellow mega penguin.
yeah,
Obviously, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very strong.
Yeah, it was too strong. So you mentioned real quick, Loffy. You mentioned that you played physical card game. When you're growing up. Like Magic at the campground. I know you also attended Hartford. So before Hartford, have you played any other in-person like competitive card games format? Like whether it's a weekly tournament or something like that.
No, no. So the only thing I ever did was I did one Magic pre-release as a kid.
Right.
Um and then I did for Hearthstone I did online like open cup qualifiers.
Okay.
Um but that was not physical, that was online.
Yeah. But so Hartford was sort of like your first in-person like a little bit of stress because it's a tournament scene, right?
Oh, it was a lot of stress
Okay, so
because
would
also
you go ahead?
I was gonna say my very first game
Hmm.
I played against the because there was also like a flesh and blood tournament the previous day, and so some of the players from there like came over to the and played vibes the next day. So the guy that was like got second place, so he's like this very good flesh and bloods player. My first game was he was playing Bizbunk and I was playing my green deck,
Yeah,
and we went into the extra time into overtime, like we were the last games that was still going. So like, and it was like a nail biter to the very end. And it was one of those games where it was like the final turn, and I had the Hungry Penguin out and a bunch of What a Twist, but he had a bunch of Bunkus out, and I like was like if I had just enough to like eke out the win, but it was just maybe like an hour long game
yeah.
into overtime. Everybody was watching our game, and it was just like it was very stressful.
So overall, like, what was your take from having an in-person event like that, participating in that? Like, what like looking back now, like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it was super fun to meet everyone.
Hmm.
Everyone that we've met. That we've just been like that I've been hanging out with on the kind of like the online world. So it was, yeah, I really like meeting them. I would say that in general, I much prefer playing on the digital client
Hmm.
than playing with physical cards. Like there's just like this whole other level of like admin that you have to do,
Yeah.
just to keep track of everything. And I just, I would prefer not to do that and just really focus on the decisions. And it was definitely also very overwhelming from like, yeah, also like just all the stuff like shuffling, and there's just like all this other stuff that kind of has to happen that I think I'm just not used to.
Yeah. Do you feel like like that now that you played in person? I mean, it's obvious you're one of the first people to qualify for the World Championship, which will be, I believe, in first quarter of 2026. Do you feel like that was a good taste? I know you said you prefer digital client, but do you feel like to kind of prepare for that World Championship, do you feel like now you got to step in more into the physical world, or are you just going to kind of stick with the digital and just kind of, night before cram for the physicals?
I mean, like the like practicing, like it was a very good from a like just getting ready of how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I think all the like practice is gonna be in the digital world anyway. I think
Okay.
that's the other thing. Like I don't have anyone that I know that like from my like non vibes, the people from like the real world that just, there are some people that play like, some amount of like board games, but not nearly to the competitive level that, I want to play.
Yeah.
And so like that's also why I just really gravitate towards the online client, because like in the online world, you can always connect with people that are like really at the top of the skill level, or basically, right, you can just match whatever skill level you are, with
Yeah.
kind of how the ladder works. But like in the physical world, it's just like, you know, because like my brother, he plays I play some games with him like this, but it's like, it's at some point it's like, just, you know not that he couldn't be as good as me. It's just he just hasn't spent the last 6 months playing the game.
Right.
So he like it's just like, so it's not like a like skill issue per se. It's more just like a knowledge issue.
Yeah.
And so then it's just kind of just like, I don't know. It's not very competitive.
Yeah, and you mentioned the playing in real life at the Hartford game. You mentioned the sort of the admin part of it. Like, did you feel like you might have made a mistake or missed some things that the client would have caught for you? Like, did you like forget to put like above, or do you feel like you were so worried about that you spent a lot of brain power trying to remember all those things?
Well, they so I was very careful to, like, there's like a lot of stuff, like say I wanted to look at my rods, I would always like, tell the opponent like, hey, I'm putting my hand down here and going to
Oh,
look at
okay.
my rods. So I was like very like talking about like what I was going to do, just so that like it was clear to everyone, because I was very worried about messing something up.
Hmm.
But I remember when I was actually playing bonk, and so I was just like, at one point I just said like, and now I'm going to put my popcorn penguin face down as a rod. So like I like announced to him what part I was rotting,
Yeah.
just as I was also, because like also when I'm like, making a YouTube video, I'm also kind of doing stuff like that.
Right.
So that was really funny. So I still managed to win the game, but like I gave away like a piece of information because of this like admin mistake.
Yeah. No, no, that's funny because I played other games like let's say like Texas Hold'em or poker, right? Where you look at your whole cards. Let's say it's like Jack 10, and in your mind you're trying to memorize it. Like okay, Jack 10, clubs and diamonds. But sometimes you say it out loud accidentally. You're like Jack 10, so the other person just kind of like, oh, thanks. So that sounds like what you kind of did.
Yeah.
And then
But yeah, I think it's also just more like that you lose the like you just lose agency, where it's just like you're just spending time on the admin that you would otherwise be doing, thinking about move.
mhm,
Or I guess the other thing that was kind of like, there's no timer. And I think that's something that like playing these, like a lot of people that played BizBunk, like a lot of people from other, like that weren't very familiar with Vibes that came in, they were all bringing BizBunk, and then they were just like, taking a very long time to play.
yeah,
And I think that's another thing that the online client does, is it punishes you if you don't know the deck very well, or if you're one of these like, because I'm a very like, I play from with like my gut, less than like calculating everything perfectly out. And so, you know, having a timer helps with that, because it takes away the advantage of the like the really slow, methodical calculating people.
yeah.
Whereas with the physical game, right, that, or since there's no timer, I lose that advantage.
So you, yeah, you mentioned that your first matchup was against the guy that came in second in Flesh and Blood, who brought a Bisbunk deck. You just talked about sort of the new players coming into that tournament, and they just picked Bisbunk because it was the S tier deck. Um, how did you feel, or what was your reaction to sort of these non-Vice players coming in, playing Vice? Maybe it was like the next day, or maybe even their first day, and doing pretty well. Like, what did you take away from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it makes sense because, like, right, I think there were three groups of people there. There's like the more like casual vibes player, there's the more competitive vibes player, and then there's these like external people that were really good at other card games. But so I think the people that are really good at other card games, right, they have just such an advantage just because they're like people that have just been playing card games their whole life.
Yeah.
And I do think that, yeah, so I'm really happy that they came in, and I think a lot of them also would say things like that the game was more in depth than they kind of thought it was at first. So I think that was a really good like validation on the game as well.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna cue into our second game here real quick, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then just question: how's your physical collection coming along? Like before the tournament, did you already have a good set of cards, or did you have to buy more cards because you were planning to attend Hartford?
So I have exactly one deck, which is the one I took to the tournament. I have the two promo cards from the tournament,
Okay,
and Spencer gave me a pack at the tournament. So I
okay.
have one pack's worth of cards, but I did or yeah, let's look at the mulligan real quick. What do you think? Full mulligan or
I think I'd probably keep maybe keys here, and maybe I don't know. I'd probably just keys and
yeah. The thing with it, like this deck has so many two drops in it, and I
yeah,
just don't think these are the
yeah, the
like. I
premium.
think we want check the yellow pages or like Penguin who might bring a +1 is the two drop that we
Yeah,
want.
agree.
But yeah, so I think this is just like because
Oh,
there's just so many two drops in it. Okay, so
yeah,
this time we might be able to draw properly
yeah.
because if we can do double, like this might be the pure yellow aggro deck. Um, okay, so. Keys is the rod or Yum Yum is the rod? Like, okay, if like to deal with popcorn penguin, we need keys, right?
Right, correct. Yeah,
I wanted to, yeah, because it makes good.
yeah, I'd be okay to rod Yum Yum here.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Like, because this is the type of hand that if we can get off both yellow pages, you know, we might win the game very quickly. We'll just explode out on the board.
Right.
Um, because
Yeah.
also like right, the way we've built it is yellow pages can very often 3 for 3.
Yeah, because it's not action heavy. You're right. And then if we does go off, it gives us such a huge card advantage, right?
Yeah, because like there's so little card draw on vibes. Like the card draw is very restricted. Like so many of the cards are just like card advantage neutral.
Mm.
All right.
It's like maybe possible mirror, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we definitely need to keep Niner keys because if they have a penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes,
Yep.
right, we'll want that for that. So I think we can just get rid of one of the two drops, like the daydreaming, I guess.
So rod the daydreaming here,
Sure.
and then we'll start off with the +1.
Yeah. That's one. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so next turn will be good. To do the
Yellow pages, right?
yeah. Oh, we have to be careful to flop the pudge. Um, the question will be like, do we want to win the vibe check or not? Or do we
Hmm.
want to tie the vibe check or lose the vibe check next turn, most likely? And I think we want to lose the vibe check, right? I think we want cards. Oh, okay, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna lose regardless.
Okay. Um, hmm. Okay, so we definitely want to play. Ugh. Okay, yeah. So I think we just play pot stirring and. So do we rod the penguin who zooms?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the combo of zoom and into this guy, but I'd be more confident going with the yellow pages pull play here.
Yeah, I think the yellow pages are better.
Okay.
I think we want to play one this turn, so I think we have to. Ideally, we could have done like the flying and then get the. Yeah, but then we couldn't have played the yellow pages. So anyway, what I was saying, because right now when we play the yellow pages, let's say that they didn't play Penguin Who Zooms, but they played a two vibe Penguin. Then the question is like, do you know what I'm talking about with like what order to do the pudge?
Yeah, you want to flop all three, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
but it doesn't matter. But I mean, yeah, you want me to show how we would flop all three here?
yeah, yeah. Then yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you were to hit the pots during second, it would flop them,
Or first,
and
right?
then you'd only flop two.
Yeah.
And because we want to lose the vibe check, we have to do it like that.
Not bad. 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, drawing two cards off of three pudge is definitely good. Like, if there was a vibes card that said three pudge, draw two cards, every deck would play it.
Yeah.
Because there's always a condition attached. Like, there's not a straight that card. There's like, what's the closest we have to that is, okay, so what do you think?
I think I'm okay to. I mean, we're probably not going to worry about popcorn, so we could keys his extrovert. So I'm okay to play flippers here as a rod, and then get our extrovert out, and then next turn grow our extrovert. But it's up to you.
But this is the only turn we can use. Oh no, no, wait, yeah, yeah, okay. No, I think we should get the date. No, because okay, sure, yeah, let's do that.
You good with that? Okay, we could talk about alternate plays if.
Yeah, no, we're running out of time. Is the problem?
What were
Because the
you?
problem with this is they can just daydreaming our extrovert.
Right.
Um, and so I wanted to play our own daydreaming in order to
They.
remove their extrovert. I
Mm,
think we play check the yellow pages too.
okay. So we're gonna lose the. I mean, we're gonna win the vibe check here, right?
Yeah,
There's
there's nothing we can do about
nothing
it.
we can do. All right.
Um,
So you were thinking of playing a line where we play daydreaming here, um, broad one card, and then daydream their extrovert.
yeah, but then they could have daydreaming our
Our daydream,
daydreaming.
exactly. Yeah, so they could daydream our daydream, and just we would.
But this was a bad play we did because they could have just daydreamed our extrovert and passed, and then what?
Right, right, right.
Oof, oof, oof. That is rough. Okay, well now we've got the well, not the combo yet, but okay. So do we want to play Lucky Penguin first, or do we just want to go for Mega Penguin?
I think we could mega penguin, so we could guarantee something in our ice. What do you think for before we play lucky penguin,
Yeah, or we play Daydreaming and
and then
Daydreaming something.
okay, I'm good with that as well.
It's okay. This is yellow starter deck, right? Because there's no. I mean, they could have some other cards in it, but okay, okay. We have okay. Penguin Who Zooms is for Mega Penguin, but yeah, I think we could do a Daydreaming and a Lucky Penguin.
Okay. Do you want to rod anything here or no?
Yeah, I guess the Daydreaming, sure.
Okay.
Because next time we're gonna do Mega Penguin, and then I guess we immediately bounce it back or not?
Um, no, we wouldn't have the rods, right?
No, because we only. I mean, I just need to get back to our hand,
Oh,
just to
yeah. Oh,
protect it
oh,
from not your keys.
to keep the combo, the dream alive. That's what you're saying.
It's always safer in your hand than out on the board.
Yeah. Okay. I think we just
Okay,
pass here, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we save not your keys till we absolutely need it. Oh
Yeah.
wait. No,
Oh,
no. We have to.
sorry. Well,
Okay, now we just can't target the lucky penguin because we had to use the daydreaming, right? Because now we can't
okay.
even.
So you were thinking of activating the daydreaming already to get it into the ice?
Yeah, because the whole point is right. The mega penguin.
Oh,
Okay. Even
no.
better. Now
Yeah.
we can get our extrovert back. Okay,
Okay.
now do we just not your keys? Their extrovert? No, no. I think we wait. I think we can still outgrow their extrovert,
Okay.
even though we're at a disadvantage. Okay, even better. Yeah, good thing we didn't do the daydreaming. We actually, yeah, we want to save the daydreaming because, right, if we play yellow Mega Penguin on the Lucky Penguin, and the extrovert comes back in. Oh no, no, because then we can always Penguin who zooms to
Protect
make
it.
it safe from their daydreaming.
Okay. All right. So go ahead
Yeah,
and go to the vibe check.
yeah,
Yeah, and I know, given that we still have the keys, I'm not too worried about their extrovert right now. But you're right that we could have took care of it earlier on, and that would have been, definitely a different line. We would have had something in our ice already for it. But I think it's looking good now. We have an extrovert to pull back, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So let's get the extrovert back.
So yellow into lucky penguin into extrovert.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So the question is, how do these triggers even work? Like, does the extrovert come first, or does the Mega Penguin go first, or do we get to order it?
Let's find out.
Yeah, I've never done this.
No.
Oh,
Oh, again. Let's see. Best card in the game.
okay, wait. Okay, so we didn't get to order it,
Yeah.
right? The Mega Penguin went first,
Right.
but the second Mega Penguin is going after the
After,
extrovert.
yeah, after the lucky penguin's effect.
I'm not sure if this is how the rules are supposed to work, but that's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, it helped us grow here. So, and then do you want to bounce it? Well, we are 15 already. So, do we even want to bounce here, or do we just rod, or what do you want to do?
Okay, let's. So how do we lose? We lose to Yum Yum. So
Yeah.
I think just, I guess we just, I guess, I guess we should bounce one, but I think we're kind of gonna run out of time
Well, let us.
because okay, so like if Yum Yum happens, which I think is very unlikely. Oh, popcorn.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
expect that. Yeah. Well,
that's always with these yellow starter decks. You never know what's in there.
yeah. Well, we do have keys for it, so we'll, it'll still
Oh
get
wait,
it.
wait. You played the Penguin who zooms, right? It bounced the Mega Penguin, but the Penguin who zooms went back to your hand.
Oh yeah, that is a. You're right. I didn't even notice that. That's a
Okay. Well, let's draw with what's it called?
draw first,
Yeah,
and then take care
yeah.
of the pump. Okay.
But do we need to take care of the popcorn?
Um, I guess what's our option here? We're not going to win the vibe check, so we would need to keys it. This guy. So leave the popcorn.
Like we need the keys for the extrovert because we
Yeah.
might not be able to outgrow
Oh,
their
look at
extrovert.
that. Look at that hand.
Yeah. Okay. I think we should just keys their extrovert now.
Okay. And
I
then,
guess next turn we're gonna have so much punch next turn, so we
yeah.
can just wait.
Oh, wait. You want to wait for it?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't give him false hope on.
Okay. Make it seem like he's got us on the ropes.
I mean, if he has like a buddy up or something, we could be in trouble still.
Right.
Oh yeah, so I guess because of buddy up, it's probably would have been better to do the keys this turn, right?
Yeah. Well, he has two
Also,
cards.
yeah, I don't want to play the penguin who zooms because it's definitely in some weird bug state.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we just do. Oh look, the mega penguin in your hand is deactivated because it's still on the board technically.
Oh. But then we lost
Right?
permanence.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, we have another mega penguin. Let's do that.
So play the other Mega Penguin
Yeah,
into.
yeah. I guess the flying penguin. Yeah. Okay.
And should we just try to.
Yeah, that's plus one. Yeah.
What should we rod? One of the zooming penguin? Or an extrovert? Or probably a zooming penguin, right?
Um. Well, I'm just worried about using the. Okay. Well, we ran out of time. Okay. Well, we still theoretically with not your keys we can end the game, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So let's try that.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. This guy and
Yeah.
this guy and
The
this
small
guy.
ones. I'm just really worried because like the Mega Penguin and the Penguin who zooms who were part of that like timeout bug situation.
Yeah.
I just worry that the game might crash if you do something with them, right? Because there's clearly there's in some weird states right now.
Yeah, that's why. I did not play. This is the penguin that got bounced back, and this is the zooming
Yeah,
that got bounced back. So
yeah. So I think we should try to not use those if we can.
okay. So yeah, so I'll put him to the side.
Okay.
All right, so that's fine. That gives us an advantage still, right? Because we got the two
For the
six.
next,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then we
I
could.
think we might need to get the Mind Goodbyes on the board.
Yeah, yep, you're right. We do. Yeah, we could have done it last turn, but we went for the combo one more
Yeah.
combo instead because the last turn could have been a nice goodbye turn there, but we had to honor the best card in the game there.
Well, okay, so I just want to not lose to like buddy up, right?
Yeah,
Or put your flippers in the air. So how do we do that? And I think the way we do that is,
go wide.
yeah, we want to go as wide with big stuff as possible.
So we would probably drop if you just want if you're worried about buddy up, we would do extrovert, zooming penguin, +1, right, and then try to get another low card
Yeah. But the Mind Goodbyes might be good because we'll draw,
from the
because then
popcorn.
the popcorn will give us an additional draw. That might help us get a not your keys or a yum yum.
All right. So what do you think? Will we get the head spin here?
Yeah, yeah,
The head spin?
probably.
All right. Let's see it.
Is that considered the
No,
best vibe check?
the head spin on the Mega Penguin. Yeah,
But doesn't the crown get in the way?
that's why it's even better. The crown stays. All right.
Okay, so do we either play the big extrovert or do
Mhm.
we do the, because
So
like playing the big extrovert, can we beat a shy penguin like that? We can get it to four.
we're running out of time. So what do you think?
Yeah,
Extrovert.
let's just do the doesn't mind goodbyes, I think.
Okay. Go for the safe route there.
And just play the flying penguin and zoom like the +1.
Okay.
Okay, let's just do that. Yeah. Yeah. Because now buddy up.
All right. So at least we're getting compensation here. Okay. So we got a
Okay, now
key.
your key's good.
Yep.
So now flippers, we can deal with
Yeah.
flippers.
That
See,
was.
so that was good.
Oh. Okay. Nice. GG.
Nice.
See. I mean, again, too many yellow penguins is just overwhelming.
I mean, that was a very sloppily played game. Because also the thing with the timers, because we talked so long at the beginning
Yeah.
turns,
Yeah. Our
we get
time.
too little time at the end turns because it like kind of like punishes you for going slow at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Okay, so you were saying your physical card collection. You only exactly had one deck for Hartford. Was that because you bought that deck, or how did you get that deck?
Yeah, so actually I asked Spencer if he could lend me a deck actually, and he said sure. And then yeah, at the end I went to give it back to him. He's like, no, you should keep it. So I was very excited about that
Oh, okay, okay, that's nice. And then
because
yeah, because
I was gonna say, yeah, I just don't have any physical cards, and it's not. I would have physical cards if I had people to play them with, but I just again like I just don't know anybody in
circle.
my like
Yeah,
real circles that plays them. I
yeah.
did also get I got some hollow cards. Actually, Tugs gave me a few hollow cards I got signed by Claire that I'm giving out. You know, I got one for my brother and one for his girlfriend. I have
Oh,
some like nice special ones.
yeah, nice. That's cool. Cool there. Um, yeah, that's good to hear. And then even once you get to Worlds, and even though it will be a physical card match, they do lend the cards for that. I remember reading that right.
Yeah, it's not clear exactly how that the mechanics is that going to work, but it did say that like collection doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about that. Like, are they because or are they going to just like, you know, you submit your deck ahead of time and they like actually like print like not real cards for it? Like I've seen that like in other games where they make like that
Special.
there's maybe some sort of thing like that, but
Uh,
it's unclear clear the mechanics yet.
but actually, I didn't think about that, and you bring a good point. I mean, it'd be cool if you if everyone pre-submitted their deck and they printed out special tournament, but like the card back is a special like World Championship vibes deck, right? That'd be kind of cool if that was the case.
Yeah, I just don't know if like they have the like to print on demand like
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Like that could be a big logistical because like right like I don't know if they can just like talk to wherever they get their cards and be like, hey, make these
Yeah.
like 5 sheets of cards to make these like this little special edition run. I
Yeah.
guess if they make like promo card runs,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that hard.
Well, we could dream. We could dream. It's still good times off. Um, a last question for you, Loffee. I know given you're a big prominent member of the community, and you've met a couple of the team members in person. If you had a direct line to the OCAP team, what would be your number one ask from them?
Yeah, I think the number one ask is just to like I really think we want to do like I think for the game to like right, I think the most important thing is for the game to just get more players. Um like that's the I mean I know that like as people who play a lot, we have all sorts of like very specific things like fix the specific bug or do something like that. But
Right.
I think the most important thing is just how do we get more players into the game? Because that's at the end of the day what really matters. Um but I think the thing within that that would be really cool is really like trying to foster the competitive like a bit more of like a competitive online scene. And
Hmm.
I think like right they're already doing that. Right, we're already I think like right now even there's like things going with like trying to get some like smaller tournaments going that aren't like really part of the world championship qualifier.
Right.
And I know that yeah, so I think like stuff like that is really what will be nice just to have like stuff to do. But I also totally sympathize with the fact that, you know, they're really focusing on getting like Legends of the Lils out. And so like I think like that's also like one of the big focuses. And again, like I do think we're getting close to the point where it's time for more cards. So I think that's also yeah, a good direction as well.
Yeah, and I mentioned it a couple times. Loffee, the content creator for Vibes. Everyone, please check out his YouTube. He used to stream on Abstract. Not sure if you still stream as much, Loffee, but I know your YouTube channel is very active. So I'll be putting a link to his YouTube in the description of this video. How about streaming, Loffee? You gonna make a comeback to that?
But so basically, I do right now. Whenever I'm recording a video, I always stream it as well. So like
Okay.
it's like you know the raw footage of me, um, you know, because when I put up the video, I chop out like the time between the games and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, I think the thing is, though, it's kind of not very convenient for people because I usually record like early, early in the like not early, but like as soon as I wake up on Saturday or Sunday. So it's like you know U.S. time, like 7 a.m. or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not always the best for people, but yeah, I think I'm much more focused on the YouTube side of things just because I'm like I really like the asynchronous nature of it. Like I don't know, streaming is very like you know, you have like more like a schedule and everyone's on the same time and stuff like
Yes.
that. Whereas with making videos, it's all just kind of
It's on
like
your own
whenever
time.
time fits in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. 100% agree with you. I'm in the same boat there. Yeah, so one thing I'll be looking forward from you, Laffy, obviously more Vibes content, but specifically, I think I pinged you about an updated BizBunk deck now that you've had, the experience
Oh,
talking.
this yeah,
Go,
I'm recording that this weekend.
awesome,
The
awesome.
Bizpunk. Yeah, I'm actually gonna make two videos. I want to play the Suarez list and then the what's it called? Who are they? The Mantum and Kyrilius
Yeah,
list because those are
okay,
like basically the top one and the top three and four at Hartsford.
okay.
And they take a very different approach to
Yeah,
the deck. But yeah, I've been having to learn BizBunk because I just you know that deck is like so much counting and admin, and I much prefer a more like proactive game.
yeah,
But yeah, I've been playing more BizBunk because I'm trying to get ready to make these videos. So yeah,
yeah.
it's coming
All right.
for sure.
Sounds good. I'll be looking forward to that. And then the second part is obviously once expansion 2, Legends of the Lils comes out, I'll be looking for your set review and whatever decks you come up with. So I'm excited for all the content that you have coming for the community, Laffy. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that like from other games that I always watched and now I feel like I'm gonna have to do, which is when the set list comes out, just to go through and like rate every card,
Yeah,
and then
awesome.
you just realize like how bad you did later, you know, because that's gonna be very hard exercise.
Yeah.
I'm very curious how good I'll do on that because
All
it's like
right.
you know every card it's like like these are the broken cards, and then you know they're gonna be just terrible.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have a good time watching you do that. So thank you again, Laffy, for your time hanging out with me, answering questions, putting together this fun, overpowered Mega Penguin list. I think we proved one way or the other today that Mega Penguin may be the best card or may be the worst card. So thank you for that.
Sounds good. Yeah, awesome. It was tons of fun.
All right. We'll catch you next time. Thank you, Laffy.
All right.